started here today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cindy Weatherby, President of the Austin League of Women Voters, and we are so excited to see you all here today. It's really a dream come true for us to see so many members and new members and collaborators for democracy, and in such an auspicious location as the Lyndon B. Johnson School of Public Affairs. We have a lot in store for you today, and we plan to stay on schedule. We're starting on time, and we plan to keep it that way. First off, I must say, Dean Angela Evans called us just a few minutes ago and let us know that she had a little bit of an emergency and is not going to be with us today. But in her place, she's asked one of our young collaborators, F. Miller, who's president of the Feminist Alliance here at the LBJ School, to bring you a few words of welcome. Faye?
Hi, so my name is Faye Miller, and as Cindy said, I'm the president of the Feminist Policy Alliance here at the LBJ School. I just want to welcome all of you to this event and to the school. We are so happy to be able to help host, along with the law school, PAC, which is another LBJ organization, and obviously the League. For those of you who don't know, which I'm sure all of you do, LBJ has a storied legacy with voting, helping pass the 1965 Voting Rights Act and his other works in civil rights. And this school was made to continue his legacy of social justice and policy work. And so it's very exciting to be able to host people concerned with voting rights, concerned with social justice in Texas and the nation. And of course, on this head of this historic election with the first female candidate of a major political party, coming almost exactly 100 years after women first got the right to vote. It's extremely exciting to be able to welcome all of you, to welcome this panel of distinguished speakers, and to start off this election cycle on the right note. So thank you, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Well, as Faye said, there's no better place for us to be talking about voting rights than right here at the nexus between the school and the library, which, by the way, is free today as part of Austin Free Museum Day. As I said, our time here today is tight, so we're going to keep introductions and overviews to a minimum. We've given you a program, which someone seems to have taken away from my program, but can someone hold up the program? If you don't have one, be sure and get one, because it's got a lot of great information for you that we'll refer to today and that you'll find helpful when you go home. I do want to take time to call attention to any elected leaders in the audience. I know that Bruce Elfant, who actually is standing up. Bruce is the Travis County Tax Assessor, Collector, and Voter Registrar Extraordinaire. Also, I've heard that Ann Teich, who's a member of the Austin Independent School District, is here. Could you stand? Thank you, Ann. Are there any other elected leaders that I may have not found about? Yes.
Gigi Edwards-Bryan, Austin Community College.
Thank you. Gigi's also a member of the League of Women Voters. So thank you all. Thank you all for spending your Sunday afternoon with us today. Some quick housekeeping. Make sure that all of your cell phones are turned to the position where they won't create any nuisance. I won't tell you to turn them off because we really encourage you to tweet and Facebook post and Snapchat or whatever you like to do. Our hashtag today is hashtag voter ID and hashtag voting rights. And you'll be reminded of that on the bottom of the slides that you'll see overhead. So now if I could have the first slide of my brief presentation. Which doesn't have the hashtag up there. I'm not sure what happened with that. I'm always a little surprised when I encounter people who have never heard of the League of Women Voters. Or maybe you've heard of us, but you don't know what we do. We have league organizations at the local level. which is what the Austin League is, and we primarily address local issues. We do local candidate forums, and we collect information for our voters guide on the local candidates. All of our work, 100%, 110%, is done by volunteers. We have an office that is also staffed by volunteers on a daily basis, a few hours a day. The League of Women Voters of Texas is the state organization, and it also happens to be here in Austin, Texas. And those people are led by a board of directors that come from each of the local leagues, or not each, but some of the local leagues in the state. LWV Texas addresses statewide issues, as you might imagine, advocates for our positions before the state legislature, coordinates and supports local leagues. Then the League of Women Voters of the U.S. is located in Washington, D.C., with a staff of experts who provide information and resources to all of our leagues. The one thing in common that we all have, every member of the league and all staff members, when you're lucky enough to have any, is bound by the tenet of never, ever endorsing or opposing any candidate or political party. We have a lot to live up to at the League. Our founders were in the vanguard of the fight for women getting that right to vote that they mentioned. They were influential not only here in Texas, but about shaping that national organization that became the League of Women Voters. The National League was formed concurrent with the passage of the 19th Amendment. What is a sometimes little-known fact around here is that Texas was the first southern state to approve the 19th Amendment, for which we owe thanks, I'm sure, to Mrs. Ovida Kalpavi, who was then wife of the governor at that time, and mother of a future lieutenant governor. But she was a fierce force of her own. Over the years, the mission has not changed, although how we do it has changed drastically. You in the audience today probably already know that we are still fighting for the right to vote for many. Our commitment of the League at all levels is that each and every eligible citizen be able to vote, and we certainly want to encourage them to exercise that right. This event today begins our League year. As the saying goes, with this year and this election, at every league level, national, state, and local, we are all hands on deck. And I'd like to take this opportunity now to introduce you to some of our hands, the board leaders who worked so hard to produce all of the efforts and products that we do. And I'm going to ask each of them to stand so that we can give them some applause. Treasurer Gwen Santiago. Secretary Diane Davis. First Vice President for Programs, Leah Maciel. Third Vice President for Organization, Jackie Collins. Fourth Vice President for Voter Services, Jacqueline Williams. Director and Voters Guide Editor, Frances McIntyre. Co-membership chairs, Judy Parkin and Brenda Kegler. Our really hard-working voter registration director, June Conway. Our communications chair, Charlotte Slack. Editor, which is our monthly newsletter, Donna Pollard, and our development director, Sarah Groff. None of our programs and efforts could happen without their efforts. The board and other volunteer leaders who serve as off-board chairs are listed on the back of your programs today, and you'll see all the different people that also support the work we do. It takes them all to achieve what we have underway. I also want to recognize, while I'm doing some recognitions here, two other important Austin League members who serve at the state level, Grace Shemaine, our State League Director of Advocacy. And the new Capitol Corps Coordinator, Jane McFarland. So, this year we've gained a lot of new members, and some of you are in the house today. It's really wonderful to see you here. With these new members jumping in, they have brought a new and efficient skill set that's really helping our efforts. And we have more great ideas that need more of those new members and older veteran members to come back to the fold and help us make those come to life. Today's event is a good example of that. We've gotten a lot more collaboration this year. We're working on so many things with other people to make sure that we're all working successfully together. We will return to our study work at the end of the election, and our topic is a statewide study topic where we research and reach consensus. And that topic is on evaluation of and possible consideration of independent redistricting commissions at every level that can be supported. As you can imagine, that statewide study effort originated with the Austin League based on the experience of the 10-1 activity. 10-1, for those of you visiting from out of state, was when the city of Austin went to 10 city council districts from all at large, just in 2014. Our other major collaborations are shown here, and far and above the most robust is the one that we have with the Travis County Voter Registrar and County Clerk. You may not realize how unique it is here in Travis County to see the kind of innovation and commitment for getting citizens registered and to get them to the polls as easily as possible. Bruce Elfant and Dana DeBevois, as our county clerk, just do amazing work. And we've been working with them, especially our VP for Voters Service, Jacqueline Williams, to help plan and execute programs such as First Vote, where we go and visit with students at the high school level to talk to them about the importance of voting and how to vote and help them be registered. As well as the mock presidential election that's coming up October 4th in our schools in Travis County at all levels. And there's a student public service announcement competition called Youth Cam, where we're asking high school students to film and produce videos that are posted to YouTube to help reach out to their peers. We've had a long and vibrant relationship too with the City of Austin's Ethics Commission for doing candidate forums the League Way. And the League Way is civil, fair, and informative. A listing of the remaining city forums is in your program on the inside back page of your program. We're soon going to be announcing the details for forums for the ACC candidates too. So do be sure to check our website and our Facebook post. Another new collaboration that we have undertaken this year is a pilot project here in Travis County to target low propensity voters, most specifically Latinos and low-income residents. It's spearheaded by the Children's Defense Fund and supported by Univision and the state and Austin leagues. Another collaboration that's been very worthwhile for us is the Alamo Draft House, where we've had great supporters for voter registration in general. And we have done registration at the theaters and are going to be doing another special registration October the 4th, when they're going to be showing the movie Idiocracy, if you've seen it. It's something that you'll enjoy. It's fun, but a little disturbing. Before I stop, I want you to consider how you personally may get involved with these activities. First, if you aren't already, you can be trained to serve as a volunteer deputy registrar, a VDR. As soon as this event is over, the hard-working Mr. Elfont is going to be coming in and doing training. So stick around if you're not a VDR or if you are interested And maybe you even want to hear some updates to what's going on. Or pick a volunteer project. We've conveniently placed in your program as well a list of possible volunteer opportunities we're actively looking for people to help us with. One new member, Paul Silver, who also is in the audience, if you want to stand, he picked a project that wasn't even on our list. He's taken it upon himself to round up free or reduced rides to the polls here in Austin, as well as around the state, and that's going to include public transit system, taxi cabs, what's known here in Austin as TNCs, Transportation Network Companies, and more. And he's also taking it statewide. Lastly, help us spread the word. Every one of you in here has a whole sphere of friends that you interact with that may not know about what's going on, may need some information about the new voter ID requirements, or improvements, let's call them. So please do check out our website. All the information materials that you've been seeing here in the library or the school here today, such as our Handy Dandy Voter's Guide, which is available in English and in Spanish, has all the information that you need to know on how to be registered, what to take to the polls with you, when the polls are open, and it's also available online for download, so you don't have to come to a meeting to pick up copies. If you have a group of people that you think need this information, let us know about that too. There's also a bookmark with all the deadlines for anything related to voting on it and all the resources online to do that, to find out information. Our next, I should also say we are a nonprofit organization that depends on the generosity of others and our own members who are also very generous. We currently seek to raise $15,000 to take care of the cost of translation for our voter's guide, as well as printing, and for some additional funds to cover the thousands of pieces that we've developed to promote the information about the new voting ID requirements. Our next general meeting is going to be the afternoon of October the 2nd from 1 to 3. It's also in that list of upcoming events that's in your program. And it's going to be at El Buen Samaritano in South Austin. Several local nonprofits are going to be sharing their voter engagement approaches, and we're going to learn how to work together to get as many people to the polls as possible. Again, today is another example of the wonderful collaborations that we have underway. This one with the next generation of voting rights leaders and policymakers. We wouldn't have these three fantastic speakers with us today or be in this auspicious location if it weren't for their efforts, and we thank them beyond measure. So let me ask the leaders of these organizations to please come forward and present an overview of their organizations. Faye Miller, president of the LBJ School Feminist Alliance Policy Group. Marimar Miguel, president of the LBJ Alliance for Communities of Color. And Kendall Williams, president of the American Constitution Society's UT Law School chapter.
Hello again. So I am Faye Miller, the president of the Feminist Policy Alliance here at the LBJ School. We are a student organization focused on policy issues that affect women, and also looking at places where feminist theory can interact with other issues, so race, sexual orientation, nationality, and we are very excited to be able to host this great event today and welcome you all again to the LBJ School.
Hello, my name is Marimar Miguel. I am one of the chairs of the Public Affairs Alliance for Communities of Color. Our organization strives to educate our fellow students and the community at large on issues impacting communities of color at LBJ, at UT, and in the Austin community. And we discuss issues from water accessibility, police accountability, voting rights, and a whole bunch of other events. We host events throughout the year, so I encourage you to check out our Facebook page and our Twitter for updates on events. These are all open to the community. We host several brown bags a year, so we'd love to have community members join us for interesting policy conversations. I believe our contact information is in your programs.
Hello, my name is Kendall Williams. I'm president of the American Constitution Society student chapter here at UT Law. So thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, League of Women Voters, for helping us partner on this amazing event. And I want to say a special thank you to my counterpart, Roseanne Maria Perham. She couldn't be here, but she worked really hard to make everything happen today, so we're very appreciative of her. ACS is a nonprofit that believes that law can and should be a force for improving the lives of all people. So it works for positive change by shaping debates in classrooms, courtrooms, legislature, and through the media. It has built a national network of progressive law students, lawyers, judges, policy experts, legislators, and academics committed to justice. The organization has more than 200 student chapters and lawyer chapters in 4 states in almost every law school, including UT Law. And we have a very robust programming set up for our fall semester, so we hope that you will join us. Some of the events that we have coming up include an end of an era. We'll be talking about the Supreme Court and constitutional interpretation with Jason Steed. We're also having a conversation about police and police community relations. And we're going to be discussing Guantanamo with our newest faculty member, Professor Stephen Vladek. So we encourage you all to join us for those. And then we're also hosting Getting Radical in the South, GRITS, which is a public interest social justice conference that we'll be hosting at UT October 14th and 15th, which is for law students, practitioners, policymakers, all of you. And we would love for you to join us on campus.
I do want to introduce someone else in the audience, and that's Terrell Smith. Terrell's here, you can stand, who's chair of the local lawyers ACS group. So thank you all.
So at this point, I'd like to invite our speakers all to join us on stage, and I'll give brief introductions and also kind of discuss what they'll be talking about today. So first we have Nancy Amadou, who is going to be speaking and sharing perspectives on voting rights. Nancy is Director of Legal Operations at the ACLU of Florida. She litigates cases in federal and state courts and provides legal advice to ACLU affiliates and cooperating attorneys working with the ACLU pro bono. Nancy was previously a staff attorney with the U.S. Court of Appeals of the 11th Circuit and was an associate at Skadden in New York. She has also represented victims of domestic violence on behalf of the Legal Aid Society of New York and has testified at the United Nations on human rights issues. Welcome, Nancy. Next, we have Cassandra Champion. She is a staff attorney at the Texas Civil Rights Project here in Austin, and she'll be talking about Texas voting registration, so motor voter, and more. Most recently, Cassie joined TCRP's executive director in helping to develop the voting rights team. Prior to her work in voting rights, she focused on veterans' rights, litigating disability and civil rights cases on behalf of veterans across the state of Texas. She earned her law degree from the University of Oregon School of Law and earned her undergraduate degree here at UT. Welcome back. And finally, Chad Dunn. He's joining us and he'll be speaking on voting rights in Texas, the case of voter ID. Chad is a co-founder of Brazil and Dunn LLP and is board certified in personal injury trial law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Chad has handled numerous trial and appellate matters related to voting and civil rights. For over a decade, he has been a major participant in the Texas voter ID legal battles and has been active in litigating matters surrounding regulatory issues, election law, civil rights, and redistricting. Thank you for being here. And now I would like to invite Nancy up to speak with us and share her words.